But if we can't work something out with Linares, then we'll wait for the winner of Flanagan, Peter Petrov, and we'll go from there.
And boxing fans are clamoring. Many boxing experts believe that Mikey Garcia has a chance to be the next pay-per-view star. When is he going to make his big LA debut in a big fight? I know maybe you want to see it, but I know I don't want to go to Vegas no more to see Mikey Garcia fight. I want to see him fight in his backyard.
I think it's going to be his next fight. That's the plan, you know. His next fight, if it's Linares or Flanagan, Peter Petrov, we don't know. Unless something bigger than that happens and the fight belongs in Vegas, then we'd have to do it in Vegas. But as of right now, the plan is to bring Mikey to LA in his next fight.
My last question for everybody goes, you said bigger. In your head, you didn't say the name, but you said bigger. Any 2 or 3 fighters you have that may be bigger than Linares?
Well, there's not only 2 or 3. There's quite a few, but the fights that could make sense to me, and like I said, only in a perfect boxing world, the fight I would make would be against Pacquiao. You know, that's the fight I would make, because I think Mikey's skills-wise, power is there. I think Mikey has a good shot. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, you know, and it would also be big for Pacquiao. I think it would do numbers a lot better than he's done against Jesse Vargas or even Timothy Bradley. I think Mikey versus Pacquiao would do good numbers. It would be a great fight. If Mikey wins, then Mikey becomes the next pay-per-view star, and if Manny wins, then Manny beat a solid fighter, solid champion, and Manny's still the world, the champion of, world champion, and still the best welterweight in the division.
What are your thoughts when your brother called down Keith Thurman?
Well, at first we thought it was, he was just playing around, but he really meant it. I know when my dad told him, "What are you talking about? Forget about it." Mikey explained to my dad, and he really meant it. Mikey doesn't want to just take easy fights, and they offered him a date in June to fight here in LA, and they gave him a name. He's a former world champion, a guy that, solid guy, former world champion. And Mikey said that fight doesn't mean anything to me. I'm passing on that one. I want big fights. So Mikey's not going to fight unless it's a unification title against Linares or Flanagan, Peter Petrov, whatever it is, or maybe move up in weight and challenge somebody at 140 or even 147. That's the way I see it. Unless there's nothing available, then Mike's going to have to take whatever's out there. But right now, Mike's plans are to fight everybody, the best in boxing.